Napoleon, as I've already told you, was the French military commander. After the French Revolution, a government was set up, but Napoleon overthrew the government and turned the system back to monarchy. Napoleon was the Emperor of France from 1804 to 1815. Although it was a short time, and Napoleon actually destroyed the democracy in France by reintroducing monarchy, but he did make revolutionary changes in the field of administration. Napoleon truly had many reformatory ideas. One of the ideas was to make the government system, which was inefficient, to change into a more precise system of working. Napoleon created a civil code of 1804, which we commonly called the Napoleonic Code. And this code is very important as it abolished all the privileges based on birth, such as passing of home, wealth, and property. He also established equality before law and secured the right to property. Even in those territories which came under his control, Napoleon began to introduce many reforms as he did in France. The earlier complicated and complex systems of administration, such as in Holland, Switzerland, Italy, Germany, were simplified. You must be knowing of the feudal system, in which for a generation peasants were kept as serfs and their land was taken away from them. The system was abolished and the peasants were freed. Earlier, there were restrictions in forming guilds and unions, but now Napoleon removed such restrictions. The various transport systems, for an example, train, bus, boatways, the restrictions on them also were removed and they were improved. Similarly, communication systems were improved. What was the reaction of people towards these changes? Napoleon did do a lot of administrative work, making everything easier and simplified. But how did people respond to it? Peasants, artisans, workers, new businessmen, they did enjoy this newfound freedom. They could realize the uniform laws and standard system of weights and measures, and even the common currency was very helpful in movement and exchange of goods. But in areas which were conquered by France, those people, they had mixed reaction towards French rule. Initially, the French armies were seen as torch bearers of liberty, with the promise of providing freedom. But French armies themselves were involved in various sort of suppression and oppression. Their ideas were good, but people felt that their system was not going to guarantee any political freedom or systems of democracy like parliament. French army was just conquering them one after the other. So they had mixed reaction towards Napoleon's system. And slowly people started turning hostile because it was not exactly their freedom, but somebody else was governing them. Now, if you look at this painting made by a very famous German painter, this color painting symbolizes the occupation of a German town by the French army. This concept is beautifully represented in this painting. You can identify the French soldiers to their blue, white, and red uniform who are acting as oppressors as they seize a peasant's cart and beating him up, also harassing some young woman, forcing a peasant down to his knees. So such oppression and suppression is captured and termed as tree of liberty. You can see this tree, which is actually just a dry skeleton, and underneath in German it is written. The English translation reads as, "Take freedom and equality from us, the model of humanity. Take it, we don't really want it." This is truly sarcastic reference to the claim of the French, who hail themselves as being liberators, of providing freedom to the other countries, but they were actually oppressors. For German people, the true meaning of freedom is totally different. Not what French think they were providing. They were thinking that they were removing monarchy and providing freedom, but that is wrong. And that is what this German artist is trying to show in this old painting.